All right, ECE240, welcome back. Here we are into week 2. And this week we're going to cover 3 chapters, 3, 4, and 5. And what I'm going to do in this video is kind of give you a quick overview of the 3 chapters and things to really focus on. As I think we went into our first week, there's kind of 3 things I really want you to carry with you from the first week. Number 1, the importance of 80-90. That by age 3, 80% of critical brain development has already taken place. And by age 5, 90% of critical brain development has already taken place. So we're saying that before a child even goes to kindergarten, 90% of critical development, brain development has already taken place. So what a beautiful window to ensure and support our youngest learners. The other thing I want you to take away from last week has to do with all the theories you learned about. The different theories on developmental stages is very important. And as this class continues, we're going to dig deeper into 3 different theories and really go into the impact these 3 theories have had on our education system. And the last thing that sets up a good bridge from last week to this week is nature versus nurture. And the reason why I love teaching this class is because how I'm able to change your life and impact your life and also to impact the lives of others that you're interacting with is all through nurture. And all of us need those nurturing relationships to support our development growth. And so we're going to go into now for the rest of the semester about all of those techniques and all of that great stuff we can do through our nurture, through our loving relationships to support brain development, to support cognitive outcomes, to support a lot of things in our life. But nurture starts even before we're born. And chapter 3 talks about prenatal development and birth. And I love this quote, it's at the bottom. Children are human beings to whom respect is due, superior to us by reason of their innocence and of their great possibilities of the future. And our first opportunity to ensure that children have the best opportunity and possibilities is to take care of yourself during that prenatal stages, all of those prenatal stages. So while a woman is pregnant, it's so critically important for her to take care of herself and that her partner also support in those critical stages. So for this, like I said, our nurture even starts, our critical support of nurture even starts before the child is born. For this week, you do have a video. The video is about 50 minutes long. It starts off kind of corny, but this video is one of the most amazing Nova PBS videos that gives you an inside look of all of the stages during a pregnancy and how critically important it is for us to take care of ourselves and to take care of the baby even before the baby is born. So I'm really looking forward to you watching that video, and you'll see your question of the week has to do with that video. So very much, please watch that video and enjoy it. I think you will. It's a great video. Like I said, the first 4 to 5 minutes are kind of corny, but you'll really be amazed by the depth of knowledge that it brings to the subject. Then we go on to physical development and health. And for this week, for this chapter, I really want you to focus on brain development. And I say this, brains are not born, brains are built over time. And we need to take the time to provide nurturing relationships and experiences to be able to support brain development. And how this works, when we talk about the 80-90 rule, it is because in the first years of life, more than 1 million new neuron connections form every second. And what this means is we have different parts of our brain, and what we want to do is be able to connect these different parts of our brain through these neural connections. And so what it is the different parts of the brains being able to connect with each other through experiences, and Make strong connections. And the more connections we have, the better opportunities we have for the future. So that's our role. That's our opportunity, is to build as many brain connections as possible. And that's what this course is really about, is how do we then build these experiences, these nurturing experiences, to be able to build these neuron connections. We're going to do a fun game really quick. And our brain is divided from left to right. And if you take your fist, and see if I can do this, and do one forward and do one backwards, that's very easy. But try to do it at the same time. One forward and one backwards. It kind of gets difficult, and we kind of start doing this, we roll. It is because we need to build more neuron connections from the left and the right hemisphere of our brain. For those of us that are lefties like me, we're right side dominant. And for those of us that are right-handed, then you're left side dominant. And then most of the time, you start to use that side of the brain more. What we want to be able to do is use both sides of our brain, maximize our brain, and give experiences that allow us to have the most neuron connections. So very important, brain development, very crucial, and the reverse can happen. If a child is in a very stressful environment of a lot of toxic stress, then you don't get those neuron connections taking place, and you can be able to do reverse. That a child then does not get those connections. A child then starts to not be able to build those strong connections, and because of that, those connections cannot build over time. So the more connections that we have in the beginning, they act as a foundation that in later in life, we can use them. So if they're not built in the beginning, we're set up for a more difficult adolescence and adulthood moving forward. So very important that we build these positive brain connections from the very beginning. So for those children that live in very much toxic stress experiences, we want to eliminate as much toxic stress as much as possible. And so for that week, you're going to see some great videos on the importance of the brain and the importance of us not adding toxic stress during this critical time for our children. All right, and then we get into motor, sensory, and perceptual development. Now, this is a really fun chapter to go over, chapter 5. And the reason why I kind of tie these chapters together as we talk about the importance of prenatal development that leads into our opportunity to start brain development right away. And even to make this relationship even tighter, do you know that a child, you'll see this in the video, can start listening usually around 5 to 6 months in the mother's womb? And so what I used to do with my little ones, I used to read to them. Once I knew that 5th and 6th month was coming up, for some children a little later, by the 7th month, but I would start reading to them all the time so they could start hearing my voice and hearing language, right? And it goes back to our senses. What are our senses? Hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting, right? Being able to touch. This is the first opportunity that our children have to be able to build brain connections through their senses. So we have to be very intentional to giving our children from a very young age rich environments that allow them to explore and be able to integrate different opportunities through their senses to build those strong brain connections. Here's an idea. I want you to close your eyes for a little bit. Take a deep breath, and I want you to think about your favorite meal. Just close your eyes really quick. Think about your favorite meal. Think about where you're eating it. Think about who cooked it for you, and just think about you eating that perfect, delicious meal cooked by the favorite restaurant or individual that knows how to make it. Now open your eyes. Look at all that power that was happening through the power of senses. And for some of you, and most of you, I hope all of you, you were even able to taste that food while you took this little moment to play this game with me. This is the power of connecting sensory development to brain development. Sensory development is the foundation of brain development. Sensory development plays as a foundation to all of our future development. I have some really fun short videos for you to watch. You'll see that most of the videos that I create that allow you to watch are 4 to 5 minutes that allow you to get deeper into the content beyond the book. Okay, so that's what we have this week. Really exciting for you to answer our questions for the week. Of course, you have quizzes that are due as well. Please be very intentional and look over all the due dates that are there for your assignments and which conversations need a response to a classmate, a peer, and which ones don't. Very, very important as well. I wish all of you a wonderful, wonderful week. And I look forward to reading your work and engaging with you online. Have a wonderful week and take care, ECE240.